All right, well, stick with me here, folks, because we have got a banger of a video here today. We're going to be talking about the good old hex price increase. We're going to be talking about PulseChain prices. We're going to be talking about the highest of stakes documentary. And folks, it is all happening right now. So appreciate everyone tuning in. Have some fun, grab some popcorn, and let's get started. And as always, so let's take a little peeky week over here at what Hex has exactly got going on. So Hex over here, we got the Hex daily stats. And folks, if you haven't seen, Hex is breaking above that 3-cent barrier that we've been having a hard time as resistance for quite some time. Currently sitting at 3.3 cents. So if y'all were able to scoop up some Hex in that 1.7 cent range, then you may have already possibly taken profits based on what we discuss here in this channel of a good profit taking strategy as well. So checking out what the Hex price is doing, folks. Again, we got the Hex price sitting at 3.3 cents. That T-share rate once again is going to be going up today, 25,672. The payout per T-share sitting at 6.291. And of course, we got some penalties. The GWAY for the gas price is still pretty expensive as of right now. Close to the weekend, I would personally wait until this usually ends up in the 8 to 12 GWAY range. That is essentially the amount of Ethereum it's going to cost you to transact on the Ethereum network. And so the higher that GWAY is, the more it's going to cost you to do a simple transaction like transfer to someone, swap your token from one to another, provide liquidity, stake, and stake. All those items are going to actually incrementally are actually going to cost more just by simply increasing this gas price here. Usually during the weekends, you can actually get the 8 to 12 GWAY range, and that's usually what you want to be looking for. If we look at how Hex closed yesterday, it was the 1st of February, so we are in a brand new month already. Hex has been working flawlessly once again as of 1,157 days. Love seeing that information as well. We have the Hex price closed yesterday at 3.168 cents, and look at that move in price appreciation, 16.8. Incredible, folks. That is incredible. That's funny. The color's green right now, and so it's got the green screen blocking out this little thing, but that's the multiple right there. That payout per T-share, you can see once again yesterday was 6.32, and that T-share rate was currently at 25,665. So that was an increase of 1.8. We've actually got more holders, more stakers. If you scroll all the way over to the right using hexdailystats.com, you can get all the way over here where you can actually see the amount of holders over here, the amount of stakers. So current stakers were sitting at 118,148 stakers at this point in time. That is wild, folks. Absolutely wild. We have a change in the current stakers as well, sitting at 18, and this number has been going up every single day. What we're going to be doing tomorrow is actually breaking down a metric as to like how much it grows each month, and take a look into this in a little bit more detailed version so we can possibly break down what these numbers look like. We have the current stakers over here and current holders, which is 315,000 current holders with 115 additional holders just yesterday alone. And folks, this happens super freaking fast, okay? I want everyone to know that, because this actually happens so fast when this starts going on. This is because Richard Hart yesterday just recently announced some fun information on this. So if you go over here to Twitter, for example, you can see what Richard Hart had to say. Let me just pull this up. Richard Hart. And if you aren't following him already on Twitter, do yourself a favor and give him a follow. He is going to be the person who is going to be dropping all of the information for Hex, for PulseChain, for PulseX. All that stuff is going to be coming from Richard Hart's mouth. So if you scroll on down, you can see less than 1 million blocks to go on stage 7 of 16 of the Aragon Client Sync. Now with this one little, or two tweets, he actually had two tweets actually. He had this one, and he also had this one right here. Block Explorer integration testing, new indexing, backend, and contract verification infrastructure. With these two tweets alone, we got to see the price of Hex pump quite a bit. Yesterday, the price of Hex pumped 16.86 cents. Pretty incredible, folks. That is a pretty decent move very quickly as well, if you ask me. So you can actually see it's still pumping as of right now today. It had a slight little pullback, and you can see this little pullback region right here. Let me make this a little bit easier for you. But you can see a little pullback region right here. I'll make it yellow. And the reason why is because people don't exactly quite know what to make of this yet, right? Some folks are still assuming that this is simply more news from Richard without any actual indication of Hex launching or PulseChain launching. But folks, we have been waiting for this 3-cent break here for quite some time. If you're following this channel, thank you so much. You can see that we have been waiting here on this for quite some time to get it done. Let me see if I can find out exactly. It shouldn't be private anymore, so let me see if I can pull this up for the chat. No way, it's still listing it as private? Why? Because I didn't save. My goodness, folks. The things you learn and things we do here on this channel. So silly. I crack myself up sometimes. Well, I apologize to everyone who possibly wanted to come in and join the stream and have some fun and, you know, chat with me. But again, we do a daily stream live every single day here with ATX Crypto at 1:30 Central Standard Time. I now have a new setup. So unfortunately, there were some hiccups that happened, and that's just a part of the growing pain. That's part of learning, right? We make mistakes, and that is how I learn personally. I want to try to get to those mistakes as quickly as I can with minimal repercussions as well for what may end up happening. But to anyone who is watching, folks, I apologize. It's not like I do it on purpose to make this happen. It was just an accident, but it is what it is. And unfortunately, in that scenario, can't really change anything about that. So take another little look over here. Yeah, see? Oh goodness, now we get people liking messages. I crack myself up sometimes, for real. All right, so if we come on over here on this chart alone, we can see that, again, Hex actually got as high. If we actually look at this, let me get rid of this line. No need to necessarily draw that. Hex actually got as high as 3.35 cents so far. Currently now sitting at 3.248. Now, I personally have a strategy where we take 5% profit every single time the price doubles. So if you were fortunate enough to be able to actually scoop up some additional Hex back here at the 1.7 cent region, then you could have possibly had a chance to take out 5% profit. And this is what we're going to be discussing. We go into more detail into this as well. If you want more information on this, follow the link down below. I have a link to a spreadsheet on my Patreon. You can definitely go check it out and check out. It should be the first link in the description. Appreciate everyone who has already joined the Patreon. Thank you so much to everyone who's already been a part of this. Much love. So much appreciation to every single one of y'all. Randy gave a nice little shout out to my Patreon as well on his stream last night. Thank you so much, Randy, for that as well. So taking another little look at what we got going overall. So if we see we got the Hex price moving nice and pretty, folks. This sucker is moving nice and pretty. So we got this little pump happening. Could go even higher, could go lower. We don't know exactly what's going to go on because with the non-announcement of PulseChain or no launch of it, we just want to make sure that we aren't getting too caught up in this hype. Do not have FOMO, folks. If I can say one thing in this area, it's not to have FOMO. Bentley's having a full-blown panic attack and will not stop. We're in the master. Okay. What would you like me to do? I hear him. Hold on, folks. The puppies are just having a little panic attack. The ice is unfreezing off our roof today because over the last 3 days, we have had a big old freeze that came through, and there's so much ice that actually took out power for so many folks because they weighed down on everything. Bentley, I need you to calm down. Thank you. Hey, it's okay, bunny. This is a little puppy right there. Little dude being so angry. It's okay. Love you. He has his own little room and everything, but he was just having a nice little moment of freak out, which, you know, we have roof falling off, or we have ice falling off as well. Give me 1 second here. Can I actually show this? I'm now curious as to how this works. Yay, just by clicking that button, it does show. Perfect. Again, this is a test. I have a whole new system going on. Doug, thank you so much for coming through. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, every single person coming to check out the stream. I apologize for keeping the actual broadcast private for the first portion. If you missed the beginning, feel free to zoom on back. It should allow you to zoom back and actually check out that beginning portion of the stream. But good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. We are going to be discussing the Highest of Stakes documentary. We're going to be discussing PulseChain. Of course, we're discussing Hex right now because of a fun tweet from Richard Hart. And this was quite incredible how Richard Hart just simply had these two tweets: Block Explorer integration testing, new indexing backend and contract verification, and then less than 1 million blocks to go on stage 7 of 16. With these two tweets alone, Hex pumped up a nice 16%, like you can see here on this chart. So yesterday it was 16.86% just from those two tweets alone. Now, folks, I gotta ask you, and let me know what you think down in the chat, down in the comments below, for the replay gang. What do you think Hex is gonna do whenever it actually launches and we have V3 either public or we actually have PulseChain launching, folks, or news of PulseChain launching? This was just from tweets, folks. This is just from 2 tweets from Richard Hart. I can't even imagine the hype that we're going to have whenever Richard Hart says PulseChain V3 is public or PulseChain's launching in the next couple days. Boom. Get ready. You're going to have your freaking minds blown about how fast some prices can move sometimes. So if you are paying attention, now is definitely the time to pay attention to that as well. Cool. Okay, cool. I was just showing that. I thought that was something I needed to click on or see myself. Cool. All right, cool. So that is the Hex price going on right now. Let's take a little look at GitLab. So of course we got the news of Richard Hart saying we got them testing and we have the infrastructure happening. So as always, what we do over here is we take a little peeky weeky at what these folks are actually doing in GitLab. GitLab is the main source of the developers for PulseChain. So if you come over here and see that, look at this, Brett Paulson has been active every single day since the beginning of January, folks. That is absolutely wild. If you want to follow any of these absolute incredible folks on Twitter, you can follow them by simply going here. These are their handles on Twitter. So if you want to follow Brett Paulson, at BrettTep is his name. 3 commas capital is, of course, 3 commas capital. And you can see these folks have been active. Dude, look at this. We have 3 developers who are active ever since February 1st of 2023. That's pretty bullish. Most times it's only 1 developer. This time we got 3 developers active as of yesterday. So if I don't know exactly what all of it means, but what I can tell you is that if PulseChain's launching soon, folks, get ready to have your freaking pants blown off because we're going straight to the moon. And I mean, we're going flying up in Hex price, dude. I can easily see us doubling this from where we are right now. Now, again, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. Do your own research whenever you're trying to figure out what you want to invest into. But guys, this is what it's all about right now. You want to find those good quality cryptos. You want to be in early. You want to have the ability to check all of this out right now because that is what we're trying to see and that's what we're trying to actually get done. spoke to him on Verbo. All right. Cool. Sorry, I had to send a message to the wife, make sure everything was all good there. But guys, that is just from 2 tweets, and we got that kind of pump happening. Like, incredible. Now, if you actually go back and follow this since the beginning of January, we can actually see right here, this is about the same time when Richard really started talking more in detail into all this as well. So if I zoom out just a smidge and just go back to possibly even say January 1st, for example, and we can really start kind of seeing the tweets that he puts out. People start getting very bullish in this whole situation, right? So January 1st came around. He didn't really say much, right? It wasn't anything too crazy in terms of his announcement. It was more or less just talking about things going on in the economy. January 6th through 9th, we had the Hex conference, and Richard Hart spoke on January 9th. So people were kind of anticipating that we may hear some PulseChain news around that time. So if you kind of break this down, this was the announcement of Hex conference. Richard talks on 9th, and then we're gonna change this color here, yellow. Make it a little bit bigger for people. So we had the Hex conference where Richard Hart spoke on the 9th, and that was actually right here. And then he didn't speak on the 9th, of course. We already know that. So come the 9th, there was this little hype cycle. People thought he was going to talk about it. He didn't say anything about PulseChain really. On the 9th, it was really more of a nothing burger like we talked about on my stream. And then for the next couple days, he actually didn't say anything. Well, come January 12th, he actually made announcement of PulseChain V3 testnet private. So this was actually happening right here. And this actually happened on January 12th. So this was all around the same time. So you had Richard Hart saying that he was going to be talking. We got this nice little draw up right here where people were getting hyped about it. People were getting stoked. People were getting excited for good reason, of course, right? Because why not? Of course, nothing came around that time. We know the Hex price got to see that little dip. He made the announcement on the 12th. And as soon as he made that announcement, we got a nice little hype cycle come through. Well, from that time, if we just base it on his Twitter, so again, this is the Hex conference time frame. He didn't say anything. Scrolling through just a smidge, people are still getting hyped about the conference. Come the 9th, we didn't say anything. And then here we go. January 11th is when he actually posted this first picture. Bam, dude, he posted this picture right here. And folks, people went freaking crazy with the Hex price pumping as well. So this was just a sample of the V3 testnet right here. This is a staking launchpad for PulseChain testnet V3, and people were like, oh shit, it's coming. And as soon as he said that, dude, the Hex price started rallying back up again. We got to see that nice little rally all the way up until about the 15th. Again, you get the hype cycle where people buy in, they start anticipating that we're going to see it. So let's just do some measures and see kind of what happens whenever there's an announcement of PulseChain. Usually that was a nice little 40% pump there. And then if we actually go over here, that was actually the 16% pump that you actually got to see. And that was actually essentially like a 30% pump within a couple of days. So folks, be paying attention to what this man is saying, because the longer he's quiet, the more that it could mean that we got some exciting shit happening here in the very near future, folks. Very near future. So I'm paying attention to everything this dude's got going on. I'm paying attention to everything he's saying in terms of his Twitter. This is probably the space you want to see. Now, he does have some little stuff that he just wants to say his own opinions on some stuff, folks, and why not? He can say what he wants. He's a man. He gets freedom of speech. That's what we sacrifice for PulseChain for, right? freedom of speech. So let's go. Tin Top, what's up? What's up, Tin Top? What's up, Hexicans? How you doing, my friend? I appreciate you coming through as always. Harvey Point Nos, we got when do Hitman get to Richard? The Hitman ain't getting to Richard, man. I'm saying, like, they just ain't gonna catch. He ain't gonna catch Richard. No one even knows where he is. No one even knows where he lives. So good luck trying to get him. You know what I mean? That's what I say in that opinion. Harvey over here saying the same thing. When do the Hitman catch up to Richard? The Hitman, Hype Man, man, none of those folks are ever going to really catch up to Richard because Richard's on his own level as well. Now, again, do you agree with everything he does? No. Do you have to agree with everything he does? No. Never said you even had to in the first place. The idea behind this is that this man's going to do things that's going to be beneficial for his token, for his coin, for the ecosystem. And guys, him staying quiet is by far the best thing that can happen because we saw what happened with the SEC. The SEC tried to come through and do their whole thing, and Hexologist even stated himself. Hexologist is like, man, dude, I wish I had known about so many things and so many things that were coming and could have had some game theories and some plays. But then he's so thankful that he didn't even have to he didn't get that, right? He never got a chance where it was like, guys, we're going to have a little secret meeting in a secret group where we pump up the price of Hex and then sell on all of our followers. Like, he never happened. That never happened with any of the Hexicans. And that is so freaking amazing because it's like this moment of bliss where he got investigated or he's getting investigated and many other influencers in the Hex ecosystem being investigated by this whole idea that again, that the SEC is trying to say like, hey, there could be a chance of, you know, foul play going on or whatever the case may be. And clearly, oh my gosh, so thankful that was not the case, right? Because we see it not the case already just from them proving it and what they got going on. But not only that, we also can see the investigation's got a nothing burger as well. They're just trying to see if influencers are paid to talk about Hex. No one was paid to talk about Hex. Everyone who does this on their own accord, and myself included. You know what I mean? I do this out of my own accord, right? I stream every single day. Why? Because I absolutely love this freaking product. I am so freaking pumped up about PulseChain, Hex, the ecosystem that we're in, the community that we have. This makes me so freaking bullish, man. Because whenever I see stuff like this on the screen share, guys, look at this. Like, he just simply has to say this kind of stuff. January 25th. And let's take a look at what the price of Hex did. 7 hours ago, stage 7 takes a long time. It's on block 6,600,000 out of. So that's essentially, we'll call it less than half, right? So that was 7 hours ago on that one note, and that was January 25th. What did the Hex price do on January 25th? It got another little freaking pump, right? We see it right here. He announces, what is it? Not version. What am I trying to say? Section. Oh my gosh, what am I drawing a blank on this now? Whoops, not that. This. Stage. Oh my god, I drew a blank on stage, by the way, guys. In case you're wondering what I was drawing a blank on. Stage 7. Announces stage 7. And I'll just leave it like that. So he announces stage 7 right here on January 25th. And bam, when he says that, look what the Hex price did. Did a nice little rally once again. We bounced up. We were kind of teetering on this line. He announces stage 7. We get a nice little pump once again. And then we just kind of go stagnant. We capitulate for a little bit of time. And then you already know what happened here. Richard Hart made another tweet once again saying, hey guys, check this out. And again, look at this. No news, right? January 25th. And then it was no news. He retweeted some stuff. That's not, I don't really consider that any news by any means because that's not him coming out and saying stuff. But then come February 1st, Block Explorer integration testing. And then bam, dude. So we got right here, the last one. I'll write this, Block Explorer integration, announcement. And so just that alone gave us this little pump right here that we get to see. And that was a nice little 17% pump essentially in one day. Folks, people are waiting for PulseChain. If this does not prove that people are waiting for PulseChain, I don't know what's going to make you believe it. The idea that people still believe that like Richard Hart could be timing the market, could be doing anything like that, it's all a conspiracy theory, right? It's all conspiracies, if you will. And I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm not saying that, you know, that he's not timing the market, because who really knows, dude? The man has a plan, and he's executing this plan flawlessly, in my personal opinion. We were so thankful that we actually got the delay of PulseChain, because now we actually get the announcement of, or now we get all of the upgrades with E 2.0. Every single time the system upgrades, we continue to get it upgraded as well. So when they come out with the sharding capability in the future, and when they come out with all these other capabilities that E 2.0 is going to have, we get all of that with PulseChain. And because of that, it's because we were delaying, and we were delayed, right? So now they have to change up everything about it, and that's okay. I'm okay with it. I'm excited for it because, dude, this is absolutely bullish in my opinion. At Harvey Point, Nas, clown. I don't know what that means, but okay. Bono Vox, not really sure exactly who you're calling a clown here. No one in my channel is a clown by any means. I don't see anybody saying anything crazy at this point in time. But, you know, to everyone has their own opinion, and if you feel like they're being a clown, then so be it. Hey, fellow Loonbirds, liftoff is inevitable. Academaciated, yes. Liftoff is inevitable. It is happening. It's happening soon. And we can see already, just from how quickly it goes, folks, these little announcements that he does, we get a nice little pump. He says something again, nice pump. Whenever eventually PulseChain is like in process of being launched, the price of Hex is going to do some wild things that no one's going to be ready for. And that's okay. I don't want people to be ready for it. You know what I mean? I want people to be sleeping on it, because Hex is also going to get hurt on the opposite end whenever PulseChain is actually launched. People are going to be bridging in probably Hex. People are going to be buying Hex to bridge in to get into PulseChain. So I want people to be caught sleeping with their pants, you know, without wearing any clothes, because the idea behind that is that like you're going to have a much better hype cycle if you get all of the weak hands out. If you have someone who's in it just for a quick 2x gain, not about that life. You know what I mean? It's not going to benefit me. It's not going to benefit you. So why would I want someone to get in this ecosystem just for a quick 2x gain? This thing has so much more potential. Not only Hex, PulseChain, and PulseX, but the entire PulseChain ecosystem that's going to be built on is going to have so much more potential and so much more advantage than a quick 2x and get out. So get ready for liftoff, because folks, it is going to come. And when it comes, yeah, not an investigation. It was an inquiry. Exactly. Yeah. So they were inquiring. Again, you say what you will, right? They were inquiring if these folks had been paid. They were trying to get some dirt. That's what it seems like. They can call it an inquiry, you call it what you will. They were trying to get dirt, right? PulseChain hasn't launched. Oh my God, Richard Hart is, you know, run off with the money, and everyone who did it is sacrificed, and he's, you know, gone, and blah, blah, blah. And then someone had been waiting this whole time, sacrifice for PulseChain, doesn't understand what the word sacrifice means. They're pissed off that PulseChain hasn't launched yet. Now they're calling it a scam, and they're calling their friends and family, and now all their friends and family are probably hating on them. Dude, like, so many different things are happening. Don't get me wrong. But the investigation, the inquiry was a pile of garbage, man. The SEC had nothing, and so they're basically just trying to be like, were you paid? Were you paid to talk about it? No, they weren't paid. Okay, now back up, back off, SEC, get off me. You know what I mean? That's basically, and so like, I'm so thankful, man, because like it just further proves my case that like I made the right decision to get into this ecosystem, because I saw so many things fall whenever 2022 was here. We saw so many centralized exchanges go bankrupt and customer funds lost and gone forever and gone to the ether. And I wasn't a part of that. I was watching from the sidelines and watching almost from a box seat type scenario, being like, damn, those people got fouled. Sucks for them, right? Oh man, my fucking dog is barking again. Let me calm him down. Some more ice just fell off the house, and these ice chunks are freaking huge right now that are falling off. And I mean huge. Bentley, need you to calm down. Thank you. Jeez, such a little whiny boy. All right. White Duo Glasses, what's up? Appreciate you coming through the chat, White Duo Glasses, as always. Thank you so much. We got Ivan Mandip. And I assume I'm trying to get the name correctly, but if I don't, I apologize. If RH was timing the market, why was he intending to launch May of 22? So it wasn't that he was intending to launch May of 2022. It was that he was told by, see, he has two developer teams, right? We'll call them Team A and Team B just for ease of conversation. Team B was the one who was basically saying like, dude, we can get this thing launched by May. It's all good. Mid-May, we can have it launched. Well, he goes on, just like us right here as influencers, we hear some news and we share the news right away. Well, he made the mistake of sharing the news as soon as he heard it. He's also waiting for the launch of PulseChain just like we are. So he was like, dude, I cannot wait to say this. Everyone has been waiting for a date. Everyone has been waiting for news. And mid-May sounds so specific that he was like, this isn't like a 2 more week scenario. He heard mid-May and he said it. He said mid-May to all of us. Was it a mistake? Yes. Was he reamed for it? Through the roof, okay? He said it because he was told by one team developer, or not one team developer, by Team B, saying mid-May was possible. Team A was like, oh shit, not even close. Pump the brakes. We got some more shit we want to work on if you want something to release flawlessly. So the idea that Richard Hart has this reputation that he has to have supersede him. One of the things he always talks about is how Hex has been 100% uptime, flawless operation. It's immutable. It can't be changed. And so he has to keep that same thing because it's such an accolade of his that he has to have that same conversation with everyone as well. PulseChain has to be 100% uptime, 100% flawless operation. And Team B was like, or Team A was like, dude, if you want that, mid-May is not possible. So he got reamed through the roof, and the price of Hex clearly paid the price. We see that because this is what the price of Hex did when that announcement happened. So let's just take a little peeky weeky over here. This is mid-May. I'm just going to kind of zoom in a smidge, zoom in a smidge. I'm going to go auto and go back to, oh, that's 2021. So mid-May. So here we go. This is the price of Hex. We have PulseX sacrifice right here, January to December of 2021 to 2022, right? And so we had this little PulseX sacrifice, and I'll just put it right here. PulseX sacrifice. And so, of course, with that being said, we had this sacrifice period right here for PulseX. Price of Hex was like, okay, we got the price happening, sacrifice phase happening. It's not obviously going to launch during a sacrifice phase, so no one's really anticipating that. It didn't launch, the price went down, and then he gets some little excitement again because now it's been a couple of months since the sacrifice for PulseX. So now people are getting hyped again, and it didn't happen at this point in time, so the price of Hex got to go down once again. Well, this is when people started kind of losing hope, right? I can kind of say like right here, we can just kind of say losing hope and launching PulseChain and launching PulseChain. Right? And so if we come over here and just say that people were losing hope in launching PulseChain, well, that was basically what was happening, and Hex was being hurt because of it. So once that really started going on, you know, people are starting to get hyped again because, again, it's this hype cycle. People are thinking and they get in their heads and they're like, well, it's going to be a couple more weeks. And there was always this 4 more week, 2 more week scenario world where we were living in. And so as we progress through, I'm going to zoom in just a smidge so y'all can see this a little easier. So as we pulled through, this was when people started really getting hyped, really started losing some faith, all of it right over again. And then he says mid-May launch right here. This was the mid-May announcement. So he goes in here and says mid-May announcement for launch. Right? And so this was probably one of his biggest oofs that he's made in quite some time, unfortunately. And he's gonna he holds it. He regrets doing it, dude. He really does. And it's because of this moment in time that we no longer get any more PulseChain updates, right? It's literally because of this moment in time right here. This one moment where there's this one little hiccup where he says mid-May announcement from RH. Dude, the price of Hex moved just in this announcement alone. The price of Hex moved all the way up 60% with just that announcement alone. That was a mid-May announcement. People are starting to get hyped back in. They're starting to get excited. And then look what happened come mid-May. It didn't launch. And people just freaking lost faith, dude. That sucker went straight down. And I mean, they were angry, dude. There was like this sucker just continued to go straight on down. And look how bad the price actually got hurt. This one announcement of mid-May of the wrong announcement, unfortunately, the price tanked. And I mean, tanked Hex, dude. Like it went from 20 cents all the way down to essentially 3 cents within 43 days. 43 days. He announces mid-May launch. It doesn't happen. Hex got tanked and got brutalized, bro. And I mean, like, this thing got brutalized, right? So it sucks so much. But guess what? He learned from this mistake. He said, you know what? If y'all don't appreciate the updates that I give and the fact that I can be wrong and I'm human myself and I am conveying the information that's shared to me, I will maintain that information and keep it close to my heart. Y'all won't get a single other update from me no matter what. And that's exactly what happened, which is why for the next several months to follow, we've basically been capitulating here between this 3 cent range all the way up to 7 cent. And that's as high as we got in the last freaking since August, dude. We haven't seen that again. Why is he fucking freaking out, man? It's getting me upset, and I apologize, man. But like, oh my god, dude, he didn't sleep good. The storm was shit last night. Hey, go lay your ass down, Bentley. That is enough. Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, my guys, sorry. Seriously. I apologize. All right, cool. So that's essentially what happened. The people started getting hyped again, and that was like the sell-off was all here. People were like, PulseChain's never launching. It definitely didn't happen mid-May. He lied to us. It's not happening. So on and so forth. And as it actually continued, we started rallying back up again. And then guess what? We got some more bearish news. And I think this was around the time, if I'm not mistaken, when... No, it wasn't quite here. I was going to say this was around the time when the SEC started poking their nose, but I don't remember if it was around this point or exactly when the point was. But the price of Hex has really not been able to bounce above 7 cents again ever since that announcement of mid-May. That one announcement of mid-May has caused us to be at 3 cents since August. Since June. I apologize. We've been at 3 cents since June. So it's been quite some time. And with all those announcements, people were just frustrated. And so he was like, you know what? I don't need to make a single other announcement. Well, now he's making announcements again, and I'm thankful he is. And now we can see we got some pumps happening here in prices. We can clearly see the pumps are coming. We can clearly see the pumps are happening. And I'm thankful that he's actually willing to start coming out and say some more news again. But he is never going to announce a date again. A date won't happen. Until he knows that it's going to be block XYZ that we're going to launch on, he's not going to say a date. And that's okay. Like you just have to be okay with this whole thing, right? And that's part of this whole thing that we're growing. But if you've been a part of this whole time, we just now retested 3 cents again since June of 2022. It's been some time. Definitely been some time. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I don't think he's timing anymore. He's never going to make another announcement when it comes to a date. Just be ready for that and be aware of that, right? We're going to get the main thing we may get is going to be him saying like PulseChain is going to launch within a couple of days. And I think he's going to have the date already in mind of when it's launching. He's not going to believe the dev. He's not going to believe him when he's saying anything. He's literally going to just believe it when he has it ready for him to say it's ready. He's not going to believe a dev to say it's ready. And that's where we're at right now. So Tintop says, I'm ready for all-time high. Tintop, I am right there with you. I think we all are ready for all-time highs. And yeah, it's going to be pumping. It's definitely going to be pumping nice and pretty. Yes, sir. Get them money bags. Money. Yeah, dude. Like, dude, imagine, dude. What are y'all gonna do when PulseChain launches? Hit me up. Let me know in the chat right now. What are you gonna do when PulseChain launches? Are you gonna go crazy and you're gonna take some cash out? Say you sacrificed $1,000, okay? And we get a nice 10x pump right from the jump, right? So, and this is possible, folks. This is easily possible. If you haven't seen this spreadsheet already, this is actually a price prediction analysis that comes from cryptographics and me just putting the information in a system that actually makes it easier for all of us to see. So if I come down here, I can actually see that based on 2 models, we have the whoa, that is way too zoomed in. Zoom out a smidge. Okay, so we have 2 different models of prediction right here. Bentley, go lay down. I hear the ice, dude. I know. I hear it too. I know you hear it. I hear it. It's all good, dude. So we got 2 different prediction models right here, right? First one, just right from the jump, is saying based on the ETH supply right now and based on where the current market cap is on Ethereum, and you just multiply everything by 1.2 million X. Now, it does a little bit more math. There's a little bit more into it. Okay. I assume you haven't heard him freaking out. All right, so based on these 2 models alone, the first price that we see on Pulse launch is 0.1 or 0.0014 cents. Now that would actually be a 14x from sacrifice price. Well, that would be really tough to talk to him nonstop on Furbo while I'm in the shower. I mean, is Delta put up in the office? Yes. Delta is in the office. All right, so yeah, that would be a 14x based on this alone, okay? So what we're seeing right from the jump is from this one model, we're seeing a 14x gain. So what would you do if you sacrificed $1,000 and you see a 14x gain right away? PulseChain launches, 14x gain. You're sitting on $14,000 right now. What would you do? Hit me up in the chat below. Let me know what your thoughts are. I know what I would do, but I want to know what y'all would do. I'm very curious to see how it works out. So let's see. Hexicans had the best seats in the stadium for the Not Your Keys Bowl. That's I absolutely love that name. Tintop, that's an incredible name. Not Your Keys Bowl. Oh my god. That is hilarious. Definitely hilarious. Sorry, the wife's home, dude, and it's just like that dog barking adds so much stress to each other, to our lives. You just feel your blood pressure start boiling up and everything like that, and man, brutal, brutal, brutal. So, and again, he's just like pacing and, you know what I mean, just heartbreaking, unfortunately, right? So that was the first model right there. So we're sitting on a 14x gain right away. Now, let me update some information on this because I haven't updated this one right now. So let me go over here to Uniswap so I can actually pull up some information on what the current pools are on this. Because unfortunately with Uniswap, I can't just type in this information. I have to pull it in through here. So we're going to say the current liquidity is 14,003,203 and oops, yeah, that's pulled hex. Cool. Whoops, 14 million, not 140 million. So 14 million, 3, and then we have 272 for the liquidity on the Ethereum side. So based on these two metrics alone, that would put the price right at 14 or 0.0014 as well. Based on those two metrics alone is so again, I'm going to work on this to where we can actually get it done and share it with everyone. To that way, if y'all want to keep up to date on this, there's a possibility of getting that done too. But what would you do? Let me know. I love that. Not your keys bowl. That is freaking awesome. I absolutely love that sound. Not your keys bowl. Big GZ, what's up? What's up? What's up? All the love, Big GZ. Thank you so much for coming through. Yeah, if y'all won't even believe it, man. I got a whole new setup that I got with the whole streaming system, of course, as you can already tell. But through it all, it actually allows the fun bit of seeing things a little bit easier. We're in the spare room. Can you put Delta up and bring Bentley down, please? Okay. On it. Meow. All right, so folks, give me 1 second. I got to go put the pups up, hang out here, look at the chart. I got to do a little pup swap myself, and I will be right back. Come on, boys. And we're back. All right. How's everyone doing? Hope y'all had some fun in the chat with each other. Always a blast having everyone in here. Don't onboard friends and family into future sacrifices. That's a lesson for us all. It gets annoying when you get asked when PulseChain. Just get friends and family to pump your bags instead. I can agree with that for sure. Let me do this here. Badooch. Oh. If it's still up and running, I'm surprised. Just lost power for like half a second. So, yeah, if the stream is still on, let me know. Give me a little thumbs up and let me know in chat, and give me a little heads up. Let me know it's all still good. The power is still having some issues, and fortunately, we weren't so much a part of the part that was lost. I'm gonna stop the music real quick, just because I don't know if it's causing an issue with the stream or whatever, but it's been a portion where so many folks lost power here in Texas due to the weather that happened. Yeah, so I onboarded a lot of friends, but they stay in touch with me, and I actually have taught them so well in the sense of what to expect, what not to expect, and then the fact that it is a sacrifice, and don't be willing to sacrifice more than you can lose. And so for everyone who I got on boarded within Hex, PulseChain, and PulseX, I made sure that, again, guys, think of this money as gone. There won't be, it's not like I have no guarantee that it's going to be coming back anytime soon. There was a point in time where I was also on the hopium train too, though, right? And I was on the hopium train that dude, this thing's going to launch within a couple of months. And then we had the PulseX sacrifice, and then I didn't really know from there how much longer it would be. Because personally, my buddy was getting married in May of 2022, and I thought we would be going to his wedding balling out like crazy, living a whole different lifestyle, basically buying out the entire island if we wanted to. You know what I mean? That was the level of expectation that I had. And so as soon as we got the mid-May announcement, dude, I was like, dude, this could be it. This could be happening. And then it never came around the mid-May, and I was like, this is not going to happen. I'm just not going to make any other guesses as to when it's going to happen and when it's going to come. So that's how it all went down for me. But yeah, exactly. It's a tough lesson, man. That was a tough one to happen. White Dude with Glasses says, I will retire twice. Are you retiring just on a 14X? That's incredible. Not really sure how much you sacrificed, but good God. Hopefully that turns out exactly like you want. Hopefully you take out profits like we discuss in my channel, and you have a strategy. Because again, guys, the 5 Ps, proper preparation prevents poor performance. You got to understand that if you have a good strategy to take out some profits when this happens, that you don't wreck yourself and make poor choices. Have a plan, have a choice, make your decisions, make it all up now, right? We're in a bear market now. Now is the time to actually get stuff done, in a sense that we can have stuff happen. If you want to, you can actually join the Patreon link down below in the description, patreon.com/ATXCrypto. Just joining the first tier actually gets you access to a nice little spreadsheet that we discuss a profit-taking area, and access to Discord as well. So, I've got a long time horizon. I'll just be putting dirty fiat into dips. I love that, Ten Top. Yeah, exactly. We got a long-term horizon here, man. You got to have a long-term horizon in this game of crypto. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, there's going to be ebbs, there's going to be flows. All these things are going to come with time, and folks, I want everyone to make sure that you are making the right decision, not only for yourself, but for your future as well, right? Can I just search through MP3 real fast? Contains MP3. Let me see if I can get some little music going on in the background. No copyright. Cool. 2 hour. Okay. All right, cool. I'm gonna get some music going. I like music going on in the background, but I definitely have a long time horizon as well. But guys, there has to be some strategy because I want to be able to take advantage of these dips as well myself. Okay, apparently music is going to be too much for the system to handle right now. It's too much. I can't handle it. And again, I probably got too many things open, so we're just going to get that figured out as we go, because it's a new system that I got going, so I don't want to push it. I don't want to shut my computer down or whatever the case may be, but Pretty sure it can handle it. It's a freaking banging computer here. I would hodl, right? Andrew Kennedy says I would hold and buy more, right? Like, I mean, that's not a bad thing, right? You definitely have to hodl. You definitely want to make sure that you are scooping up some more as well. Randy Alarski said something very interesting that I actually want to be doing the same thing. He said he has not put fiat, his dirty fiat money, into buying his cryptos since 2016. He's basically been able to live off profits from other cryptos that he's had, airdrops that he's had, and he's able to actually incorporate all of it and still buy more of the actual tokens that he wants to buy without actually doing it. Well, that was the whole idea behind myself as well. I didn't want to always have to come up with dry powder, where I always have to be coming up with something to be buying the dips, because guys, this whole time right here where Hex has been 1.7 cents, 2 cents has been a phenomenal buying opportunity. But I do wish that I had taken out some profit whenever I had made 6 figures of profits in Hex. And I didn't take out some profits, and I could have held the and the idea is that you don't take out profits to cash out into your bank account. The idea is that you take out profits and hold that to be able to buy the dips whenever they come around. Because if you know 60, 70, 80, 90% dips are coming, then have a strategy to take advantage of those dips as well. And that's what I was looking for, and that's what I'm going to do, and that's part of what we discuss here in my channel as well. So definitely agree. Big GZ right on point right there. Tiny profit taking. Just do a tiny smidge, right? You know what I mean? I love that. I love that as well. Yeah, definitely take some profit, folks. There's nothing wrong with taking profit. That is something that, you know, we have almost ingrained in our heads that, you know, profit taking may not necessarily be the best thing, or whatever the case may be, or that you just need to hold forever. Yeah, that's true. But I do want to be able to take advantage of these moments too. So SEC has already 3 trips to Estonia on the books. Think what you want. It's all vaporware until that airdrop hits our wallet. For sure. I agree with that, Harvey point. Like, you're 100% right. Like, at this point in time, until PulseChain launches and you actually get your actual tokens from the sacrifice, or you get your points and converted those into tokens, yeah, absolutely. Like, in those scenarios, you're 100% right. The 3 trips to Estonia, maybe they just wanted to go sightseeing. It's a beautiful place out there in Estonia from what I hear and from what I've seen. And so, you know, again, they can't do anything to Richard. All they can try to do is do some little cease and desist. And he said it before on his streams with Lures and everyone else as well. If he was given an order to cease and desist, he would cease and desist, right? And so, like, he's already stated that that would be the case. So they haven't done anything. It's a big old nothing burger from the SEC. It's an inquiry that they're doing right now, and they can inquire all they want, right? But there is actual tokens that are out there right now to this day that are truly violations of SEC and do deserve to be taken down. But in this scenario, they have, if they want to focus on Hex, then Hex is the least likely to be punished. So all good there. And yeah, just waiting on it too. I own cats. That's why I don't have dog problems. Dude, cats are so chill, man. I got a cat too. You know what I mean? She's the freaking best. Is she in here with me? She's not in here with me right now, but usually she'll hang out with me while I'm streaming, right? Usually she just chills. She's actually more like a dog than a cat in all reality. She's the most doggish cat that you're going to get. So she wants to be a part of your life. She wants to come up and snug. She'll let you pick her up and rub her belly and do all the stuff that you can't do to normal cats. You know what I mean? She's a very dog-like cat, but that's because she's lived with her whole life around dogs her whole life. So, you know, to each their own. I'm more considerate of tax obligations. I won't trade or cash out for a minimum of 1 year because of my jurisdiction. Tin Top, that makes perfect sense. If you already know the jurisdiction that you're in, if you already know everything that it is that you do get taxed on, be smart about this as well, right? Like, so from what I'm told in the areas that I'm in, I'm fortunate that I can convert my crypto into, say, a stable coin, and it doesn't count as a taxable event for me. but I have heard of other people say that it does consider that a taxable event for them. So know what the rules are. By no means am I a tax investor or tax advisor. Find your own person who can do that, and make sure that they actually understand the world of crypto, because crypto is already a hard enough world to understand. So maybe what you end up doing is you talk to several tax professionals and make the decision of yourself, because I'm sure you're probably going to hear different answers from multiple tax advisors who actually, that's their job. So if you already know what it is, though, then absolutely, yeah, wait 1 year, wait until you don't have to pay that whole short-term capital gains, because it could be 50% in some scenarios, and like that would eat up your whole profit in that whole scenario. You'd have to wait until the price dips down like 90% just to be able to profit properly, and that's just not smart. So right there with you, Tintop. Harvey Point says, how much of the PulseSac was made with Hex? Quite a bit, actually. If we actually go over, it's kind of tough to know the exact amount now, only because what ended up happening was, what had happened was, a lot of it got moved over into the PulseX sacrifice. So what I'm going to do, again, it's so tough because you can't really sort out what was done. So currently at this point in time, there's 250 billion hex, 628,542,714 hex that was sacrificed. Okay. So it's tough to actually know how much of the PulseSac was made, but out of PulseChain and out of PulseChain and PulseX, between the two sacrifices, there was 250 billion sacrificed in Hex, which is just so freaking bullish in my opinion, dude. That's literally like you made people take Hex off the market. Like that 250 billion hex is probably never getting touched. You know what I mean? Now, who knows? We're going to end up seeing what happens in the future. But based on what the OA has already done in the past and shown that it has no desire to sell or stake or do anything like that and just get diluted by other stakers because they've already earned from their big paydays and everything, it's based on what we're seeing, it's pretty interesting. 250 billion sacrifice, though. That's a big number in my opinion. Big GZ, what's up? Thumbs up. Yeah, exactly, guys. Yeah, that was a fun little thing there. I losing power literally like flickered for a second. All my computer screen shut down completely, like everything just went black, and then it came back on and everything was still up and running. I was actually shocked because the last time it did that, I had to do a full reboot and it took like 3 minutes, and hopefully we get out of this little power outage scenario, because when Texas runs through its power crisis, a lot of this is actually where communities, it's not even the Texas power grid that was having an issue supplying the power. What happened was a lot of the power lines had actually gotten weighed down by ice, and the ice actually caused it to either snap, or the telephone pole to snap, or just the weight of the actual ice alone caused it to break off. And then you have to have folks go out there and actually repair the whole power lines. And so it was like so I just read the message from White Duo Glasses. Oh my god, he's such a goob. White Duo Glasses says, haha, yeah, I was kidding about the retiring part. Well, I'm not going to tell you how much I did for the sacrifice amount in PulseChain and PulseX, but the statement could hold true to what you're talking about, where it'd literally be retiring myself, my friends, my family, and then retiring, their family. So it was a very decent, very heavy chunk of capital. And I'm just fortunate enough that I was able to even be a part of it. And like, I should be the one who's probably crying out of everybody. But dude, like a quick 10x gain easily makes me paper millionaire status in that regard. And then again, whatever happens from the future from there is just in the future. So right there with you. But yeah, I mean, White Duo Glasses, I'm not going to disagree, dude. I know my buddies who have sacrificed several as well, and a 14x gain for them makes them paper millionaires as well. And I get it. It's paper millionaire status. Like, are you going to cash out all in all? Probably not. I don't recommend that to be the case, especially if you cash out, say, $3 million right from the jump, and that's enough to live on, don't get me wrong, for quite a while, and you can actually pace it out to get paid like $50,000 per year, if not more. And then what's even crazier about that, if you go with that route, is you then go and see the price go and do 100x, and you're like, I could have had 300 million. So I never want to have that regret where I'm like, oh, dude, I made a fucking poor choice. The idea is that you want to have a good profit-taking strategy so you can take profits along the way. Because that's what it is. And then if you see opportunities to start buying the dip back, then you can start buying the dip back, and that's really what it's about right there, and that's what I'm focused on. Dude, I really love music. I'm kind of sad that it won't play music. Like, why is it? You can't handle it? Yeah, you hear that noise? Maybe I just have to like reset the whole system or something. I don't know. But I'm a big fan of music, right? It just have no music in the background sounds so freaking odd to me. I wonder if I can probably just pull up like a youtube.com no copyright. No. Let's just see. No copyright lo-fi. Let's just see what we get. And again, I don't have the channel monetized at this point in time, so, you know, hopefully all is good there. I wonder if I have to be on this. Let me know if y'all hear the, let me know if y'all can hear the music right now. I'm curious if I have to be on this page for it to show, or if I have to, or if I'm able to start showing other screens. So I can't even stream. Yeah, it's just too much. Okay, fair enough. Okay, fine. I won't play music for this one stream. I will wait a little bit longer. Wow. Delusions of grandeur. Let me see what this says. Wow, delusions of grandeur. I remember RH was very concerned with tax liability for us, so when PulseX SAC started, I figured 1 year from the end of that. Yeah, it did, and he is concerned because there are some places where if a certain thing has value right from the jump, that you actually can get taxed on it, right? And so, like, if you're given an airdrop, some folks were actually taxed right away based on what it was that they were given. So the idea behind this is that we get it for free. We have it at $0 value. And whenever the Pulse bridge comes into play to actually assign some sort of dollar value, then it can just go up from there. And as you take profits and cash out or take profits or whatever, then that's the taxable event. But that is the whole point of it. So right there with you, Tin Top, he definitely was, he's smart about it. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, this dude's freaking smart about it, man. He's not trying to screw over people on this tax event. He doesn't want to have that happen for anyone. So I'm right there with you. Harvey Point says, Gary Gensler at SEC is a schmuck. His boss at MIT was Professor Ellison, the father of SBF's girlfriend. Weird shit is going down, and the new regs and law that might beat Pulse to the market. I mean, that's always a concern, right? That's that's more of like a FUD scenario, right? Until it happens, and they actually, just like PulseChain, like until it actually gets launched, like it's just a talk, right? So it's the same thing. Like, yeah, they could get it to market before then, but until they do, then so be it, right? It's just, that's a FUD piece. And if you're that scared, then hopefully when PulseChain does launch, you know, you can cash out and do everything that you need to before the SEC comes in play. But you're going to be hearing about all this long before they typically take action, right? Like, if you actually stay up to date with this information, it's not that hard to kind of understand it. So yeah, the Pulse SAC raised billions in cash and crypto. Maybe RH should hire some project managers and proper marketing execs. No, he's gonna do his thing, man. And right, like RH is gonna do his thing. PulseChain and PulseX are not a company. They don't have any CEO. There is no board of directors that he has to report to make decisions about something happening. So no, there shouldn't be any sort of like project manager. And if you want to talk about proper marketing, like, again, he's going to do his thing. And if it blows up by word of mouth the way he wants to go through and do it, then let it be that way. If he wants to go and have things promoted a certain way, then go and do it that way. But he's proven with Hex that he didn't do that in the first place with Hex, and it went and did a 10,000x. So why would we change what already worked, right? If you know something worked already the first time, with just the community going out and doing word of mouth advertisement, and that's typically the fastest way to get things promoted anyways, because that's usually where more trust is involved from your friends. Going from word of mouth, it's the fastest way to actually get people involved if they want to get involved, and they typically will help their friends and teach them how to get involved and all that good stuff. So I don't agree with the fact that he should use the billions. No, he should use it for liquidity providing on other things. That's what the automated market maker, the AMM bot's going to do. It's going to harvest all the liquidity, and it's going to redisperse everything based on everything for proper LP functions and everything right from the jump. So yeah, marketing, no, can't agree with that. No expectations. Pulse is not a company. Yeah, exactly, Big GZ. Yeah, Pulse is definitely not a company. There is no CEO. There is no CFO. There is no board of directors. There's no management that he has to go through and talk with, and every single time, like, it's ready when it's ready, right? And then once it launches, it's going to be a freaking layer 1 crypto, just like any other layer 1 crypto. It's going to be another crypto that's going to have what it is. Randy doesn't live in the land of the free, home of the slave. He can make 100 trades a day, and his wife cash out without paying U.S. taxes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Randy Alarsky definitely has the benefits of that as well. And usually swapping between tokens isn't really a taxable event because you haven't cashed out anything. You haven't taken profits. That's like saying you're taxed on your unrealized stocks, right? If you're holding so much stocks in your portfolio and you don't cash out, well, that's like saying you get charged. And they were trying to do this for a period of time. I remember they talked about this where they were talking about doing capital gains tax on unrealized profit. Like, that doesn't make sense, right? But there are some places that do that. And so, yeah, Randy's definitely in a place where that doesn't happen. And guys, what's cool about this as well is anyone can move there. Anyone can go there. Like, you don't have to be like limited to what you're doing, right? If you want to go move to these areas where you're not taxed, no one's stopping you, right? You're stopping yourself. And you have your own reasons as to why you don't want to go and do it. But there are places that allow you to get this done. LOL. You don't have to be a company to fall under the RICO Act. Yeah, I mean, sure, right? Is there one person in charge? But read what you signed up for. Nobody paid you or put a gun to your head. Chill, Harvey. Yeah, exactly. Like, Harvey, you got a whole lot of FUD going on in your head. I don't know what you're worried about. I don't know if someone's pissed off at you because you got them involved in the Hex PulseChain ecosystem and it hasn't done what you told them it would do, and you put the expectations into someone's head, and now they're pissed off at you, and so you're just pissed off at the community. But what I can say is, again, like, in this scenario, if nothing's been done, then why continue to have a fear? Right? Like, so no actions being taken amongst so many other cryptos, no actions being taken amongst so many other protocols, and the ones that are still out there and they do have actions taken against them are typically centralized exchanges, which do have board of directors, which do have marketing teams, which do everything that you're wanting. So it seems like you're wanting centralized exchanges, but you want it to be in the DeFi world. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how it sounds like to me. And unfortunately, that is the one thing that DeFi is not, right? DeFi is truly decentralized, right? Everyone can talk about it. Everyone can have their own opinion. Everyone can share the way they want to share. And so if you want to promote the way you want to promote, and that's scared and fear until it actually launches, then you do you, boo. Yeah, read what you signed up for sure. The story that mainnet launch has more layers to it than a fucking Spanish onion. I don't know what that means. The story of the mainnet launch has more layers to it than a fucking Spanish onion. Okay. All right, cool. I mean, did you sacrifice? If you didn't even sacrifice, then who gives a shit what you think, right? right? If you did sacrifice, and again, you signed up for sacrifice, read what you signed up for. You sacrificed for freedom of speech and freedom of movement, right? That's the easiest thing to say on that one. Crypto Gains Club, what up, what up, what up? Appreciate you coming through as always, Crypto Gains Club. I'm treating all crypto, including stables, as risk-on assets. I won't be putting anything on my taxes until I successfully buy a house or something big without any issues in fiat. That's cool. That's a great plan. That is a phenomenal plan, as a matter of fact. White dude with glasses. That is a really good thing, strategy. If I can't, I'll put it as a loss since I didn't realize it and spend it. There you go. Hey, what do you guys think about RH outrage marketing? Well, I mean, the outrage marketing is just Richard doing him, right? He's a grown up. He's a grown ass adult. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. Just like you can do whatever the fuck you want. And just like I can do whatever I want. Right. And so like, if he wants to go do his thing and become an outrage marketer, like I'm a big fan of RH in the past, right? But if you never knew RH in the past, then it's tough to say that outrage marketing isn't working. Because if you go look at, say, for example, Social Blade, just to pull this up, and you actually see his metrics, everything he's done has grown, right? Like, so to say that it doesn't work is again, kind of foolish, right? In that regard, because literally every metric that you can measure in terms of engagement, in terms of how many people find him, how many subscribers he has, all of these engagements are only going up. He has 150,000 subscribers on YouTube, or on YouTube. Let's look at his Twitter. I think it's like almost 300,000 people on Twitter. And so until you reach that level of pool, yeah, he's at 296,000 subscribers. Like, just like we look at these metrics in Hex, right? Like, Hex, how many more users are there joining? And so like his outrage marketing, if it's not working, then why do we see stuff like this with Hex? Right? If we pull up over here on Hex, we have more stakers, we have more holders, we have more people in the community than we did a year ago. And so like, I think it works based on the metrics that we can measure. And these are measurable metrics. There's current holders. And again, 315,000 is how many people that are holding it today. There was 115,000 or 115 new people just yesterday alone. If you look at the overall current stakers, there's 118,000 stakers. Guys, this number gets wild because look at what you can really do. Like if I pull this up over here, whoops, didn't mean to go that far back. If I pull this up over here, and this is hexdailystats.com, for example, and just go back a year ago, and I just want to kind of see how it looks because now my curiosity and my numbers got to be answered. I'm like, hey, I wonder about something, and then I have to like figure out the answer to it. Maybe it won't load. Yeah, I mean, apparently streaming to 4 different platforms is too much. There it goes. So let's just look at, a year ago today. What's today? February 2nd. Let's just go back a year ago. Okay. I'm going to scroll all the way over again. So February 2nd, by the way, just so that way y'all have an idea, is this one right here. This little column, and I'll just kind of highlight it all the way over. Might as well. So February 2nd, right here. February 2nd. Look at this, folks. We only had 77,000 stakers back then. We only had 279,000 people holding Hex back then. So to say that it doesn't work is just like sheer ignorance, in my opinion, because every metric that you can measure has only gone up. Now, if you look at price, yeah, price has gone down, but that's what you get with the highest appreciating asset in crypto, or highest appreciating asset, which is crypto. Right? You're going to have volatility. It's the price you pay for mad gains. So like, look at this little area right here. Let me just copy this. And where's my little notepad? Nope. Notepad, where you at? Quick notes. Cool. All right. So if I pull this up, interesting. Okay. So it doesn't actually show the quick notes on the screen, but that's okay. So if I just pull this up real quick, so there was 77. I'm just gonna start with that, okay? And that way I can just remember the numbers. So 77 is where we're at, and then we go back up to the top so you can see what column it actually is in right now. And again, right here, this little current stakers, that column alone is sitting at 118,000 stakers now. I'll do the math for you as well to kind of tell you how much gain that is. So 118,148, 77,719 divided by 118,148. That is an increase of 65%. Pretty good. If you want to look at the current holders, there was 279,000 back February 2nd last year. 279,709 current stakers. Now current holders. Now there's 317,580. Did that. There's no way that math works out. 317,580 divided by 279,709. Yeah, no, there's no 279,709 divided by 317,580. Says 88%. I can't be right, but again, 8.8%, 88%, yeah, something like that. It's quite a bit, man. That's so much. That is so much freaking engagement from where it was a year ago. So I think it's working. I mean, basically, that's what I would think, HubHub, to answer the question. Outrage marketing, shavs in tracksuits. It's been done before by Russians in the late 90s. Cool. I don't take that as FUD, Harvey. Uncle Sam is in an economic war right now. Our government is trying to make crypto unattractive. And we have laws coming into effect January 1st, 2024 that will hurt DeFi. We should be talking about this thing and making good plans. 6 P's. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. Exactly, dude. Like, pay attention to it, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, just pay attention to it. 100% agree with that, Tin Top. Like, if you know, like, yes, there's FUD that's always going to be around, dude. Like, FUD's always going to be a thing. It's here to stay, right? Like, FUD's here. So if you think it's always going to be a thing already, then, like, let's plan for it, right? Let's make sure that we're aware that it could be very possible that that's how it goes. Color scheme, colorblind. I love colorblind mode because, folks, I am colorblind. Or semi-colorblind, you know? So, like, I say that, and everyone's like, you can't see colors? Like, nah, man, I can see colors. I just don't get them right. So this is colorblind mode right here. So just so that way y'all can actually see the greens and the yellows or whatever color it is for the day to see what's up, what's down, and what's happening around the board. But Hex is currently up 4.88% for the day. And again, the market overall is still looking pretty bullish, dude. That's a lot of blue, or should I say a lot of green. 300x and I am out. That's good enough for me going to play it safe. Maybe just leave just 1 million PulseX on the table just to see what happens. So Ivan Mandip, I just want to share this thought with you real fast. Just track me, follow me, okay? If PulseChain and PulseX do crazy things and it does the 300x, you're also going to have the ability to do yield farming. You're going to have the ability to pull out a loan from liquid loans where you don't actually have to sell your assets. So as long as you stay properly collateralized, then it will never matter into what the price could dip down to, and you can cash out and you get to keep your coins. In some cases, there's actually a play that you could actually take a loan out with liquid loans and never pay it back because it's 0% interest. It doesn't have a monthly payback time frame that you need to pay it back every single month. So I wouldn't necessarily just say like 300x and you're out. I would say like look into other protocols that may be able to take advantage of it. Especially whenever there's so many neat things that are coming out like liquid loans, and there's also going to be the Power City crew who's also doing the same thing, and they're going to be providing a stable coin tied to US or tied to PulseX. So pay attention because guys, there could be some interesting things coming here in the near future. So that's why, again, proper preparation prevents poor performance, guys. Like, literally the 5Ps are gonna make you win. And like, I wouldn't cash out, dude. I had this talk with someone, because I promise, dude, you were going to regret cashing out. If you go and cash out at a 300x and it goes and it does another freaking 100x from there, giving it essentially a 3000x from the time you bought initially, you are going to beat yourself up so freaking much. And yes, 300x, you can change your life, but you're going to have such a regret and such a pain in your stomach that you're going to be like, dude, I can't believe instead of cashing out 3 million, I could have had 300 million. Dude, that's generational wealth, in my opinion. Right? Like, that's when you can truly make money work for you and make sure that your kids never have to worry about paying a fucking thing. But if you take out 3 million, then you can live a good life. Don't get me wrong. You can have a great life and you can do you and never have to worry about working another day for the man. But, a lot of the times, you're either going to get bored with what you're doing, or you're going to go do everything that you possibly want to do, and then you have nothing else to do. Or, if you don't have a perpetual cycle of money coming in, like yield farming is going to allow us to do when PulseX is a thing. There's some things that you want to pay attention to, right? So I'll just share that information, right? You do you. I'm not a financial advisor. You got to make that choice. If you feel like 300x is enough for you to change your life, and it's enough to change a lot of people's lives, dude. If you sacrificed, and going back up to the numbers that we just talked about, if you sacrificed $1,000 and it does a 300x, that's $300,000 now. That's a big difference. You know what I mean? Big difference. Big difference, folks. So, got to make that choice. Everyone's got to make that decision for themselves. For sure. Will 2.5 billion PulseX get me rich? Yep. Why wouldn't it? Like, so do the math on that, right? So we'll say 2500, that's 000. So that's 1,000 million billion. Okay, times 0.0001. So assuming that just the sacrifice price of PulseX, which is 0.0001, which is the 10,000 divided by 1, that would be $250,000. Now, if you go based on what Ivan was just saying, and you do a 300x, that turns into $75 million. Okay? So, yeah. Will it get you rich? I don't know what your definition of rich is, but when you're talking multi-millionaire, that's usually pretty rich in my opinion. That's my opinion. If you're already a multi-millionaire, that may not be anything to you, right? Until you're a billionaire. So I don't exactly know that for sure. But like, based on what I just did the math on alone, yeah, you're probably pretty likely to do pretty well for yourself. Cause again, like, and that's just a 300x. Like, let's just say it goes and it does another 1000x or 100x like we had talked about, right? Then you're looking at 7.5 billion. That's 1,000 million. Yeah, billion. $7.5 billion. And that's a 3,000x, right? From the sacrifice price. So, yeah. Good money is possible in that regard, for sure. Like, I mean, based on what I see, yeah, exactly. Let's fucking go. Yeah, for sure. Guys, it's a wild time, right? And so what I'm curious about is, are we going to get the highest of stakes documentary first? And if we do get it first before PulseChain, will it have that same effect as a Richard Hart tweet? So many folks are brand new to the ecosystem of Hex, PulseChain, PulseX, and our ecosystem that we're in. So if we see the highest of stakes documentary and it's as good as everyone says it is, I haven't seen it myself. I've only seen the trailers, and the trailers make me freaking pumped up. And, so like, just curious. I'm very curious in this regard. Like, are we going to see the same pump that we see a Richard Hart tweet give? There's going to be so many new folks who are brand new to our ecosystem that I want to make sure that everyone's aware that, guys, we have to be welcoming to all these folks. Everyone's got their own opinion, right? Everyone's had their own experience in this whole situation. So to someone who is someone who is like coming in new to our ecosystem, scared of the FUD, scared of the SEC, scared of any rules and regulations, to go and attack them is not the way to go. You have to at least hear them out. Like, everyone's got their own opinion. Everyone's gone through their own little horror stories. So that's why I'm okay with like having a little conversation with Harvey, for example. Like, Harvey's definitely a person who has some FUD in him or them or their or whatever the frick they are. But, you know, it's the same regard. Like, they have an opinion, right? It's their opinion. Do I know if they sacrificed for PulseX, right? They didn't say anything about it. So are they just trying to spread some FUD? I don't know, right? Like, but I'm willing to at least see what they have to say, because you got to look at it from the contrarian perspective sometimes, dudes and dudettes. Like, you have to look at it from a contrarian perspective. And so sometimes having these folks in the community is what we need, right? Because you can't always have the hopium folks in here like myself. And like HVID, for example, like, you know, someone who just literally, you know, breathes hopium. So that's just a whole part of it, right? That's just the beginning, and I want to make sure that everyone's open arms, welcoming everyone in here, because, folks, we have an awesome community, and I don't think we should damage it by, you know, hurting anyone or hurting each other. Have the open arms to hear someone out, right? Everyone's got their own experience. Everyone's got their own stories. But yeah, I'm very curious, guys, because just based on what we talked about in the stream, we got a lot of things going on, man. We got the price of PulseChain possibly just starting off right at, you know, 14x from launch from sacrifice. And that's just on a simple model too. So 14x from sacrifice is pretty freaking awesome. But guys, I'm going to be wrapping up the stream today. Thank you so much to anyone who got to tune in with me. Don't forget to check out the description box down below. Sign up for my Patreon if you want access to a profit-taking spreadsheet, gets one-on-ones with me. Join a Discord where we have an amazing community. If you want, you could even like, subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. We just passed 600. The goal is to be at 700 by the end of the month of February, so help me attain that goal. Thank you so much to everyone who got to participate in the stream with me. Y'all have an absolute wonderful day. Peace.